concerns, or disputes that may exist between the town, individuals, or organizations. If a request for a deferral is made and the committee grants such a request, the committee, after consultation with the Secretary-Treasurer, will set a new hearing date. No further notice will be provided unless there are changes to the application. In order to conduct an effective and efficient hearing, we have adopted the following process. The owner or authorized agent will be given the opportunity, if so desired, to briefly explain to us the basis of the application and answer any questions that may arise out of the hearing. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided for this presentation. You need to state your full name and address for the record. Any materials submitted to the committee for viewing will remain the property of this committee. Any submissions beyond 5 minutes will be at the discretion of the committee. All persons attending the hearing who wish to support or oppose the application must also state their full name and address for the record. 5 minutes will be provided to make your presentation. All remarks and questions are be directed to the chairperson of the committee. Any submissions beyond those 5 minutes will also be at the discretion of the committee. If there are several speakers sharing the same view, please select a spokesperson to present the group's opinion. We do want to hear your views, however, covering the same points will not advance your case. The owner or agent will then be provided further 5 minutes to respond to comments made by any interested parties and answer any questions from the committee members. If the owner or agent has any concerns found in staff reports, particularly any proposed conditions, at that time the opportunity is to advise us. The matter will then be taken into committee for a decision. This will mark the end of all discussion. Once the committee makes an oral decision, any person desiring a copy must file with the Secretary-Treasurer at this meeting a written request for notice of the decision. A green sheet is provided for this purpose at the back of the room. Please note that you must make a written request in order to be included on the list that is used by the Ontario Municipal Board for giving of subsequent notice of any appeal. Written notice of the committee's decision will be mailed no later than 10 days for minor variance applications and 15 days for consent applications to the applicant, the owner, agent, and any other person who has filed a written request for such notice. If you do not agree with the committee's decision, you may appeal this to the Ontario Municipal Board. The last day to appeal the decision to the Ontario Municipal Board will be noted on the decision. If no appeal is received within the prescribed time frame, the decision of the committee becomes final and binding, and the Secretary-General will then notify the applicant through written correspondence. People attending this committee are to be courteous and respectful of the members of the committee, the town staff, and other people in attendance tonight. Tonight's meeting will be live streamed and available for future viewing on the town's live stream page at oakville.ca/live. We do ask that cellular phones and pagers be switched off or on silent during the meeting, as they do tend to interfere with the audio system. Thank you. Regrets for this evening are Mr. Paul Cronus and Mr. Mark Charlebois. Do we have a declaration of pecuniary interest? Mr. Talowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, as you recall, I was absent for the February 14th meeting, and had I been here, I would have declared a conflict on CAV A23 2017 at 380 Pine Avenue, as it's adjacent property to mine.
Thank you, Mr. Talowski. Any other pecuniary interests, and particularly for this meeting of tonight? I see none. Thank you, gentlemen. Requests or deferral, withdrawals. At this time, I invite whoever would like to defer an application. Okay, hello.
Hello, good evening. I'm here on behalf of Michael Sullivan.
Name and address for the record first, please.
So I'm solicitor for Michael Sullivan and Margaret DePede at 1194 Sterling Drive. My name is Signa Lees from Castlesbrock.
Okay. If you could just spell your last name for me.
Yes, Leisk.
Thank you.
And we are requesting a deferral until May to allow for additional consultation with both staff and the neighbors, as well as to provide the opportunity to provide the committee with additional information that would assist in its deliberations. My client and its immediate neighbor to the west are both in Florida until April. They were surprised, my client was surprised by the neighbor response and welcomes the opportunity to have further discussions with the neighbors and to resolve any concerns. Many of the concerns relate to the fact that the deck this is regarding a pool deck, that it's pre-existing, and my client wants to assure the committee that they have no intention or had no intention of building without the required approvals, and the pool company was actually instructed to obtain all such approvals, and now we're absolutely would like to work with staff and the neighbors to resolve this. We also received notice this afternoon of a potential easement on the property that may impact the application that is before the committee. So we did speak with staff about this, and I think it's our understanding that staff agreed that more time was required in order to consider the implications.
Understood. Thank you. Are there anyone here for application CAV 44 2017 for 1194 Sterling Drive? Yes. We're not really speaking to the application at this time.
Understood.
I'm just surveying to see who's here in order to make a decision about the deferral. So
May I
with
speak
respect to the
decision
deferral.
of the deferral?
Certainly.
Okay, so this situation, this deck and
Name
pool.
and address for the record,
I am
please.
Richard Van Nest. I live at 114 Wolfdale Avenue, which is adjacent southern property to the subject property.
Okay.
So this is a platform and a pool, which were built over 2.5 years ago. There was a stop order placed on it, which they ignored. They've had plenty of time to reach out to the neighbors. They have yet to speak to me or my wife about this at all. I received a copy of the survey, their survey, that was 2016, in the package from the Committee of Adjustments, where the easement is very clearly labeled and identified by their surveyor.
Okay, I understand. We're aware
I
of
would
the
like to proceed.
situation.
If possible.
So you would like to proceed with the application?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the matter at hand, which is, it is being put up for deferral. I'm not accepting any evidence at this time. We are not speaking to the application. We are speaking to the matter of deferring the application. Okay, so I see two people here who are here for the application. Planning staff, I assume you'd like to comment with this respect? No? Yeah.
Planning staff have no objection to a deferral, subject to the committee authorizing that, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Committee members, I'm in your hands. There are two members here that would like to proceed. However, the applicant has requested a deferral in order to work with the town staff as well as the neighbors. So I've heard your concerns. We'll now take this matter into committee. Is there a discussion on the deferral?
Madam Chair, can I ask a question of the applicant's lawyer?
Yes.
You indicated your client's looking for a deferral to speak with the town and to speak with the neighbors. But does your client want to speak to the neighbors just to explain what happened, or does your client want to speak to the neighbors with the open mind of making changes to what's been built?
I would say they need to be productive discussions to try and resolve. The goal is to actually resolve and come back to the committee with resolution with the neighbors and staff, if that can be accomplished. So I think it should be with an open mind.
Any further discussion? I see none. Okay, we'll take this matter into committee. Is there a motion to defer?
Madam Chair, I'll put forward a motion to defer. I don't believe at this point in time we have adequate information with respect to a drainage easement on the property, its location. I've been through our materials, notwithstanding the submission by the neighbor, and I do not see any information on the provided materials. I do not see any information on the provided materials that specifically identify the location of the easement. So I'm not comfortable in dealing with this until I get a more full understanding of the easement. So I'll put forward that motion.
Thank you. Is there a discussion on this motion? Mr. Tulowski?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to reluctantly support my colleague's motion. I, for one, will be very disappointed if this comes back to the committee in the state that it's in now, but I will take the applicant's solicitor's word in good faith that they are going to seek to help remove or lessen the impact of the variance that's being requested.
Thank you, Mr. Tulowski. Okay, with those comments on record, all those in support of the motion to defer this application? Okay, your motion to defer has been accepted. Any other applications that would request a deferral withdrawal at this time? I see none. So we will proceed to the first item on our agenda, which is CAV 38 of 2017 at 2050 Niagawa Boulevard.
No, sorry, I wish to ask for a deferral, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we missed you. What application are you here for, and your name and record, and name and address for the record, please?
Yes, certainly. My name is Rick Mateljan, Mateljan. The address is 79 Wilson Street, Suite 301. I'm here in regard to item number CAVA 040-2017 at 68 Navy Street. And we would like to ask for a deferral. We've recently received some correspondence from the neighbor where she has identified some concerns, and we'd like to have an opportunity to have a discussion with her prior to proceeding.
Okay, thank you. Are there any members in the audience that are here for CAV 040 2017 at 68 Navy Street? Are you here in opposition or support, sir?
In opposition.
Okay. We are now speaking to the matter of the deferral. The client would like more time to discuss with the neighbors as well as work with town staff who do not favor all the variances that are supported before us.
My name is Michael Shane, S-H-A-E-N. I live at 64 Navy Street, immediately south of the property in question. As the committee is deciding what to do in this matter, we were, I guess, what someone might call consulted on a version of this. What's come to the Committee of Adjustment is completely different than what we were consulted on, so we're very concerned about that. Aside from a number of structural issues and planning issues, I'd like to know who the person is that they're concerned. We have a number of people here this evening who would like to speak to this issue, and we've come prepared to do that.
Okay. I'd like a show of hands for the number of people who are here for this application. So that's 3 of you. I'd like to ask the client, the applicant, a few questions before we take this matter into committee.
Yes.
So you've read the staff report, and
Yes.
you are aware that staff do not support all the variances.
That's correct.
So is your intention to go back and come before us with a new application that it will be revised?
Well, I guess that depends on the outcome of the discussions. But certainly we would like to have some discussions with a view to opening that up. Yes, correct.
Okay. Members, are there any questions of the applicant? I see none. Okay, we will now take the matter into committee.
Thank you.
In terms of a motion to defer, Mr. Tulowski, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will move this application be deferred at the request of the applicant to speak with the neighbors, and would highly encourage Mr. Metaljan to, on the way out the door tonight, speak with the additional neighbors that are here, and look forward to you coming back with no neighbors in opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Tulowski. Is that a motion to, yes, that's a motion to defer. I'll speak to the neighbors. I think that having a deferral, it works in your favor because you will now have a platform to speak to the applicant directly and share your concerns. For the most part, what we find when items are deferred, that people come back and they're satisfied with the middle ground that they've reached. In the event that that does not happen, at that time you'll be able to voice your concerns when the application does come before us with whatever amendments that the client does put through. So with the respect to the motion to defer, all those in support? Okay. John, yes, he is. He was just momentarily distracted. Okay, so the motion to defer has passed. We look forward to hopefully seeing you back here without any opposition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just say?
I'm sorry, we
I'm
can't
sorry
have
that-
to put anything on record
Yeah, I
right
don't care
now.
if you put it on record. My wife has come down here with a broken arm, and we have dragged neighbors down here tonight for something that we should have been advised if a deferral was been requested. I have no idea why we wouldn't have been, and that we would have been dragged down here this evening. So I'm hoping that before we come back here again, we'll be notified properly, as should have been the normal course.
Unfortunately, the process of the Committee of Adjustments, that deferrals, unless they're requested way ahead of time, which very, very seldomly ever happens, they do have to come before the committee, make an appearance, and ask for a deferral, and we have to take a motion and accept or deny a deferral, just like as we would accept or deny an application.
Sorry, I'm a litigator. I understand that the other side could have advised us just by picking up the telephone and telling us what was going to happen, instead of us coming down here this evening. So I would hope that that courtesy would be extended to us before we get dragged down here again. Thank you.
Just on a procedural, it's not up to the applicant or agent to decide on a deferral, so there couldn't know, when they come here, the committee could have chosen to move ahead. It's not, the applicant could request it, or a neighbor or whoever. It's up to the committee to decide whether they're going to accept the deferral or not.
But we could have agreed in advance that we wouldn't oppose what he was saying, and we wouldn't have had to come down here.
That's
he
your
could've
right.
put-
You can come or you don't come, but regardless of what you decide to do, it's our final decision whether we defer an application or not. So we have to hear both sides. And I could have very well heard your side and said, I'm prepared to move on this application. But the staff does not support this application. We have enough material here to say that we'd like to give the applicant a chance to rectify the situation, and hopefully that will be in your benefit. I apologize that you had to come all the way down here to hear that, but this is our procedural bylaw. Thank you, sir. We'll move on to the next application. I'll be now calling a CAV 39 of 2017. We're at Niagawa. Oh, I apologize. Okay. So we're done now with deferrals and withdrawals. We're moving on to our first application, CAV 38 of 2017 at 2050 Niagawa Boulevard.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. David Nelson, Ruth Victor and Associates, 481 North Service Road West, Unit A33, Oakville, Ontario. I am here with Mr. Jack Neal, who is standing somewhere around me. You'll be seeing more of Jack in the future and less of me. Jack is here to speak to the matter if you wish to have a presentation. We have seen the staff report and are obviously pleased with what we are seeing.
Yes.
Good
Just before you commence, I'd like to survey the room to see who is here present for application CAV 38 at 2050 Niagawa Boulevard. You're here in opposition or in support? Okay, so you would like more information? Yes. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Nelson?
Certainly, Madam Chair. What we have here is a masonry waste enclosure that was constructed shortly after the site plan committee approved its location in that particular spot on the site. What is happening here is the applicant is proposing a two-story addition to the building, which you can see on the diagram that's up on the screen. This is the proposed addition. This is the existing waste facility. The front yard, as it currently exists, follows the line of the existing building, which is out in this area. So when this building was constructed, it was clearly in the rear yard on the property. With the introduction of this particular addition, the front yard now wraps its way around and follows this line. So now the existing building is in the front yard. We're asking that that be permitted to remain where it is.
Is that it, Mr. Nelson?
That's it, Madam Chair.
Are there any questions of Mr. Nelson at this time? I see none. Sir, would you like to come to state your name and name and address for the record? If you have any comments or you were satisfied with the information that you've received? If you have any questions, this will be the time for us to get you the information that you would like.
My name's Joe Pasha, Pascia, and we're a resident across on Elderwood Trail. We're one of the houses,
Address, please?
218.
218.
So,
218
Elderwood Trail.
Edgewood. Yeah.
So my question is, this proposed two-story building, what exactly?
They're looking for more information.
What exactly
Are you
is-
opposed or in support?
I don't know what are they putting on that? What are they-
They're
it's
just
a-
requesting that the garbage remain in that area
Where the proposed two-story building is?
where the pink highlighted is, and Mr. Nelson has
I
showed
can't
it.
see it. Oh, remain in that area?
And it's existing.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, so you're not, thank you.
Yeah, that's more than fine.
Okay. Mr. Nelson, if you have nothing further to add, we can take this matter into committee.
No, I'm finished, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Gentlemen, I'm in your hands. I'm ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I'm satisfied that this is truly a technical variance brought on by the proposed addition. So I would move that the application be approved as applied for, finding that it meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act. And given that this relates purely to the existing garbage enclosure, not the addition, I would say no conditions are required.
Thank you, Mr. Talowski. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? Planning is requesting a condition that the existing 1-story garbage enclosures remain in the present location as shown on the plan dated November 24, 2016 as submitted. Mr. Talowski, are you comfortable putting in this requested condition from planning?
Probably not necessary, but belts and suspenders, that would be fine.
Thank you, Mr. Talowski. Okay. Mr. Nelson, you're familiar with this condition. You've read the staff report.
I am, Madam Chair. I have no problem with that. There's no intention to remove that facility. There's no other place we can put it on the property.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the recommendation is to approve the application as set before us with this set condition. All those in support?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to application CAV 39 of 2017 at 405 Sumner Avenue. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Michael Morgan, and I live at 390 Sumner Avenue, and the request is to replace the existing single-story, single-car garage that's on the property at 405 Sumner Avenue. It's an old building that's falling down, and it was probably built, I would say, pre-1950, and is very, very small and doesn't accommodate the homeowner's needs.
Mr. Morgan, let me just survey the room. Is there anyone here present for application CAV 39 at 405 Sumner Avenue? I see none. So our procedural bylaw allows us to, forgo on the presentation for the application. We've done our site visits. We are familiar with the planning report. Are there any questions of Mr. Morgan at this time? I see none. Is there a need for a presentation? I see none. Sir, if you have nothing to add or
to
anything
add.
to share, in addition to the materials that we have, we are prepared to take this motion, this application into committee.
Thank you.
Okay, so the matter is in committee. Would like anyone to move a motion? Mr. Hardcastle, thank you.
Madam Chair, having reviewed the materials and considered this matter, I'm satisfied that the requested variance conforms to the four tests of the Act. I'll put forward a motion of approval, subject to two conditions. The first being that the proposed garage be constructed in general accordance with the plans dated December 22nd, 2016, as submitted. The second being that the permit will expire within 2 years if a building permit has not been issued.
There's also an additional requested condition from staff that the proposed garage be constructed in general accordance with the plans. Oh, okay, did you? Sorry. I must have spaced out for a second. Mr. Morgan, you're familiar with those conditions? You're
Yes, I am.
satisfied at this time?
Yes, I am.
Thank you, sir. All those in support of the approval with those set conditions?
Thank you.
Your application has been approved. Thank you, sir. Application CAV 41 at 1223 Palatine Drive.
Good evening. My name is Hani Kalini. I live in 5327 Holly Point Avenue in Mississauga, Ontario, and I'm the agent for this property.
Thank you, Mr. Kalini. Is there anyone here that is present for application CAV 041 of 2017 at 1223 Palatine Drive? Show of hands. Okay, thank you. You're here in opposition or in support? For information. Mr. Kalini, we are going to require a presentation as the town staff is not supporting your application. So if you'd like to take us through that, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So we're here just proposing a new two-story custom home development on this lot. We managed to stay within every bylaws. The only thing that we couldn't meet is the GFA requirement, that we couldn't get the house any smaller than that. But even with the additional square footage we're asking, we are still way below the coverage required. We're at 30% instead of 35%. Also, for this specific application, we did go by the book. We had met the planning department twice before we submit the application, and we got the comments that there shouldn't be an issue, just one minor comment, one minor variance, and it shouldn't be an issue with it, and that's why we proceeded to the variance application. On Friday, I saw the comments came back in, and we went quickly to make a quick rendering of the house that should look like, and basically, this is what we're trying to build on the lot, and for some reason, I don't get how the committee or the planning department see that the house doesn't blend in the area. It's not really a fair comparison to compare with an area that's about 50, 60 years old homes that the development has been started in this area. But moving over one street over to Rain, there's quite a few homes that have been developed quite nicely. And some of them had already their variance approved and they're built. So eventually the development will move into that street, and that's what we think we can have 250 extra square footage on the lot. This house is not in the middle of the street. This is the very end of the road. We're just next to the corner home, so you don't really see sticking out in the middle of one-story home. This is the very end of the line. So it's something you see either you're entering the street or you're leaving the road. So it's not really an eyesore in middle of those one-story homes. And I believe personally, I mean, it's subjective, but I think this house will add value to the area of the neighborhood in general.
Are there any questions of Mr. Kalini at this time? I see none. Okay, sir, I'm going to invite the members who've shown interest to speak to the committee. Is there one individual who is going to be representing, or there are several people who'd like to speak? There's several? Okay, as long as we're not repeating points, we appreciate and invite everyone to take their turn. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please.
It's Ann Flynn, FLYNN, 83 Sewell Drive. My house is right on Sewell, next to the corner house, and the house that they plan on building, their backyard backs onto my backyard, and the way that they're building that, when we moved into the area, we wanted a house that had a nice backyard. We didn't have to look at the neighbors' homes, or they couldn't look into our house. Well, the proposal that they're doing is they're extending the house, and so they're going to be able to look right into my house, into my ground floor family room, into the rest of my house. I'm going to have an eyesore if I wanted to sit outside and enjoy my backyard and the trees, because I'm going to be looking at this wall. And so I would beg you not to allow this variance at all.
Okay. Are there any questions of Ms. Flynn? There are none. Thank you. I invite the next person to come down.
Good evening. My name is Anna Pereira, and I'm my husband and I own the property next door at 1219 Palatine Drive. I just wanted to bring forward the just comment on something that was commented the homeowner, or I'm sorry, the homeowner. He was saying that the house that's proposed to be built is right on the corner. Well, it's not, because my house is on the corner. It's right on, and it's facing the same way. So my only concern, really, I don't have a problem with moving into the future and new homes being built in the area. The only concern I have is the height of the home. I don't want to be overshadowed to that extent. So I'm just wondering if there's a way that maybe it could be just lowered down into when they build the foundation.
We don't have a variance for the height in front of us
Okay.
today. So, but maybe the applicant can respond to your concerns when he does come back to the podium.
Okay, and the other question I had is, would the fence have to be moved, like to get, tractors or whatever they have to get into the back, bulldozers to build this foundation? How will it affect my my property? I have a hot tub very close to the fence there on my property. And I have a garage that was built there as well, so I don't want, if the fence has to come down and I have gardens that I've built all along the side there, I would just want everything to be replaced if there is going to be any damage done to that, not at my cost, so.
Absolutely, and once, if this does get approved, they will be subject to a site plan approval, so I'm sure all of these matters will be addressed, but again, the applicant can comment on your concerns.
Okay, and just one more question I had is how far back, like I don't understand how far back the house is going. Like we do have a fence line between my property and the property of the lady that came forward before me. There is a line there. Does the house go further back beyond that fence line? I didn't think it was going that far back. I thought it was just going a little bit further back from where the house is now.
Okay, we'll respond.
That's the part I don't understand, how far back this house is.
We'll show you the plans and we'll make sure you understand exactly where they are.
All right, thank you.
Okay, are there any questions of Ms. Pereira before she leaves? I see none. Anyone else who'd like to speak to the committee? Come on down, ma'am.
Good evening, Madam Chair. My name is Joanne Totten, Tawton, and I am a resident and homeowner at 1235 Palatine Drive. I'm co-own my residence with my partner, and we're both here tonight to express some concerns and issues about the building that's being proposed. First of all, I've seen the drawings. I got a pretty good idea of what type of a home that this gentleman is proposing. In my opinion, this home does not blend into that street neighborhood whatsoever. I know everybody on the street. I maintain a few of their properties through snow shoveling and cutting grass, and I know the people quite well. And there's several elderly homeowners on that street that obviously couldn't make it tonight, and for medical purposes, and they've expressed an interest too that they feel that this is also a home that's going up that certainly doesn't blend into the neighborhood. I've seen the homes on Rain. I've walked by several times, twice daily, these homes, and I see how a lot of them don't blend, and a lot of them are just monster homes coming into a residential street that it will profoundly stand out. I don't know what the height of this home is going to be. Judging by this, it's going to be considerably higher than a lot of the other homes on that street. The material used is quite different than what they use on the street for these other homes. I've got no indication as to how much closer they're going to be going to the property line, and I think that is of some concern to myself and other homeowners that live within close proximity to this address that's being dealt with. So for a number of reasons, I'm opposed to this. I'm not happy about this at all. There's no effort anymore to aesthetically blend, and that goes for both materials as well as the architectural structure of the home, and that's my concern right now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Are any questions of Mr. Totten at this time? I see none.
I would like to find out about the height and the
Yes,
property.
there are no variances to the height, so they are within their rights to build a two-story home, but
Yep.
I will let the applicant speak to that issue.
And property line.
And property line,
Thank you.
yes. Mr. Galani, you're invited to address the issues of concerns.
So I do appreciate the comment. So this is actually the site plan that shows where the house is going to be on the lot. You can see, this is quite shiny. You can see the front yard is, by law, we should have 7.5 meter. We're back to 8.5 meter. Actually, the house is located exactly where the current home, where the existing home is, in terms of the frontage. In terms of the height, you can see it on the elevation that we are below the 9 meter maximum that's required by law. So we didn't really exceed into the height. We are, for term of the setbacks, we have the 1.2 meter on both sides. In fact, on this side of the house, it's just 1 meter for the depth of the garage, and once we go past the garage, the house is actually further recessed into the lot, so we have a much wider side yard. So in terms of the massing itself, we are within the bylaws in terms of height and in terms of setbacks. All what we're asking is about 200 and 250 square foot extra. And I see if we manage to cut the area smaller, the house will not be a single floor, one-story home, will not be a single car garage. It's just going to be a smaller massing, but it's going to stay within the two-story as allowed by the bylaws.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kalani. Are there any questions of Mr. Kalani at this time? Okay, I see none. We'll now take this matter into committee, sir. We'd just like you to leave those materials for the...
Which one? Oh, the rendering? Yeah. No, it's just made recently.
Could our technical staff dim the lights, please? Oh, they're not on again. Okay. Mr. Kalani, if you'd be kind enough to share the
sure.
plans with the neighbor in the back on your way out, we'd
yeah, that's much
appreciate
better.
that so that they can see
Yeah,
it. Thank
this
you.
is much better.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
Maybe he just wants to explain it again. We just want to make sure the person knows.
Do you, are all your questions been answered, or would you like him to show you again since you couldn't see it?
I can see it now where the fence line is and how far back the house is. I missed that when I looked online.
Yeah, and you can see the frontage is 9.5 meters, so it's further back from the existing home. It's not even at the existing home line.
So there are no side yard variances, front yard or backyard variances. They are within the correct parameters to build on this lot. The only thing that is requested before us is for that extra residential floor area, which is about 200, 250 square feet, as Mr. Kalani had indicated.
And as I said, we actually run it by the planning department twice before we go for variances.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kalani. I'm ready for a motion. Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, our procedure bylaws don't allow for us to be taking questions from the audience at this time. But you're welcome to speak to Mr. Kalani on the way out. The matter is going to be now taken into committee for decision. Gentlemen? Mr. Hardcastle, thank you.
Madam Chair, having heard the input from the area residents and having reviewed the staff report in detail and having visited the neighborhood, I'm concerned with respect to the size of this house, the massing of this house, and the architectural styling of this house does not undertake to minimize the massing that's offered by this increase in residential floor area. I think in combination with meeting side yards that are at the minimum and the architectural style, I can't support this variance, so I'll put forward a motion to refuse it.
Is there a discussion on this recommendation? Mr. Talowski?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a difficult one. We see this a lot where the permissions in the bylaw allow houses to be constructed, which many times staff or the neighbors believe are out of character with the neighborhood, but they can build as of right. So the question that we have to grapple with is the variance appropriate? Not so much as to whether it meets the intent of the character provisions of the official plan, but is the variance appropriate? And I have greater comfort with this house having seen the rendering than just the two-dimensional drawings, but I think in this case I will side with my colleague in that you can build a house that's out of character with the neighborhood. When you want to build a larger house than what's permitted, the question becomes, is there an onus on the applicant to try to mitigate the fact that the zoning bylaw permits the house to be out of character, but not one of this size? And should, in this case, the pretty much full two-story house have been redesigned to fit more of the nature of the neighborhood with the split levels? Madam Chair, I'm going to support the motion on the table.
Thank you, Mr. Talowski. So the motion on the table is to deny this application as it does not meet the 4 tests. All those in support? Okay, the motion has been denied.
Thank you for holding down the fort, and my apologies for being late due to navigate GTA weather. We'll call upon application CAV 42-2017 at 348 Pinehurst Drive.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Joel Tanner, authorized representative for the clients from Simple Design Studio, 21 Sherwood Rise, Hamilton, Ontario.
All right, thank you. Let's just see if there's anyone here today that has an interest in application 348 Pinehurst Drive, and that's CAVA 42-2017. Okay, can you proceed with the presentation, sir? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, there is on the right.
So we did have pre-consultation with the planning department regarding this project. This is the 3D rendering of the front of the home. We are following the guidelines when it comes to side yard setbacks, front yard setbacks, rear yard setbacks. The real control mechanism that we're looking for is the two primary gables you're seeing. So the one on the left-hand side, the one on the right-hand side. We are seeking a height variance on those gables in order for it to work with the massing and, more importantly, just the ceiling heights on the second floor. So we do have a low wall height condition on the left-hand side of the house, and the right-hand side of the house is 6 feet. And that still drives us to basically the 9.55 meter max height. The one thing to point is that it is only the gables that are above and beyond that 9 meter max allowable. The center portion as well as the left-hand portion you're seeing in this 3D rendering are both under the 9 meter tolerance, which is really the driving factor as to why the planning department was supporting our proposal. We're under on coverage, we're under on GFA, so it's really just the driving force on that height variance.
Okay, thank you. Members, any questions at the moment?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Hardcastle.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand a little bit. Maybe you could take a look at the site plan very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just note that there appears to be some grading change occurring at the base of the covered porch, and based upon the differential between, is there not an opportunity to push this building down into the ground a little bit more? You're talking about a 0.55 meter difference, and meanwhile you're talking about a 0.92 meter difference between the grade outside the front porch and the finished floor elevation. So is there an opportunity to reduce that a little bit and minimize the need for variances?
The control mechanism really is the front of the house. So our existing grade, which is the center point front property line, we're sitting at 95.08 meters. The actual existing, let's go with proposed. So the proposed grade, which is basically bang on with what the existing is sitting at 95.7. So we actually have a grade differentiation from the front property line to the start of the home of 0.62. So when we actually measure the height of the home at grade level at the front of the home is technically under that 9 meter allowance, but again, we run into this time and time again in the city of Oakville, city of Burlington, city of Toronto, because jurisdictions are measuring from front property line. So we are losing that quote unquote height of the building. So from a grander statement, we're not pushing the envelope, in my opinion, because we are following within that guideline when it comes to that parameter at the front. So as soon as you start pushing the house down anymore, it does start to complicate your rear exit path in terms of ceiling height for the second floor, recessed exit point for the lower level, because it is technically, I guess, a 3-story home at the rear. So yeah, it's the grading. We had a pretty strong consult with Jamie, the grading inspector, and he's not comfortable hunkering down the house anymore, just based on how the ceiling heights are working from level to level and the grading that's existing.
Any questions? It looks like you have one riser into the house, and it's what, 9 inches a riser?
Yeah, and that's basically accommodating, so your floor pack sitting on the foundation, clearance down to grade line.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, if you just have a seat there, and we'll
Yeah,
ask
absolutely.
your neighbor to approach the podium.
Hello, my name's Heather Klein. I'm at 332 Pinehurst, which is 2 over from the house. I don't really have a problem with the house. I think it's a lovely-looking house, but I do have, because of the height restriction, I guess I have a concern.
Now,
There's
now
taking,
you know if you put your iPhone there, it's a Samsung, we might have to
take
confiscate
it.
it. from you.
Yeah, well,
But I use that joke all the time. I have to find a different one. But just go ahead. Just put it there and
I'm
show
trying
us.
to get to turn around on me, but anyways, I guess I'm just concerned that right now they're taking several trees down, and it's a very well-treed area, if you know the Pinehurst area. And I was just wondering whether they could, instead of taking down, it's a 60-foot blue spruce right in the front by the driveway, and right now it's proposed to be taken down in front of the house. But I was just wondering if they could maybe just cut the tree up a little bit. A lot of the trees in Oakville, they just take down the lower branches so that the cars can still go in the driveway. You'll see houses on Brookmill, they park their SUVs right underneath the trees. And I was just wondering if that could be a consideration. It's more of a proposal for whoever's building the house, but it would certainly, because this house is going for a height variance, it would certainly soften that because it's in the front of the house. So that would basically soften the height difference, as well as for even the occupants. There's going to be a house across the street that's going to be built this summer. It's going up for sale and going to be built. So even for their own privacy, they might want to have that huge 60-foot blue spruce to kind of soften their view out the door. But that's all. I just wanted to make a comment. It was more to the homeowners or to the builder to maybe consider, instead of removing that beautiful, it's one of the best specimen of blue spruces in the Oakville, to a 60-foot tree, if they could instead just take the bottom branches off to allow the driveway, cars to go through the driveway. That's all.
I'm not quite sure. It's the. I think it's the.
Actually, it is the plan. So sorry, that was an error on the surveyor's part. So the driveway is actually going to stay as a U shape, and we did have a consult with the arborist, and the
So hang on,
arborist.
say again. Put up the plan and show us.
Yeah, so the surveyor accidentally did put an X on the subject tree, but we are actually planning on keeping it, and I don't mind putting a note in that paperwork. It's not coming down. We're going to keep the driveway, which allows us to keep that tree intact and undisturbed.
Where's
So-
the driveway going to be?
So right now, basically, there's an entry point on
Right.
this side of the property and an exit point over here. It was a misunderstanding on the surveyor's end. So it's this is the head wall these are the two head walls coming in, and these are the two head walls going out. So the U is gonna stay and the spruce will stay.
Yeah. Well, that's great. It's just a tree to die for. Everyone would love it.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, absolutely it is for sure, yeah.
All right. Good. Looks like a little dialogue helps. Any questions? Anyone else wishing to speak to the committee on application CAVA 43-2017?
Mr.
No?
Chairman.
Yes, 348 Pinehurst. Yes, sir.
Alex Ballo. I'm at 355 Balboa Court, right in the rear of this property.
Yes.
I'm not even sure I'm in the right venue to bring to your attention. There is a drainage issue on the properties. There's about 5 or 6 properties where there is a pipeline running on the boundary.
You mean a
It's about
swale?
It's about an 8-inch culvert, and it tends to overflow, etc. And I see no indication that it's been addressed. And I'm a little concerned that we'll have an issue with some bad weather, deluges. We've had flooding, and like I say, I'm not sure. I couldn't have gone just directly to the gentleman, but
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it's good to bring it to our attention so we can be noted on the minutes. But this is an engineering matter that is reviewed as part of the site alteration permit. So the engineering department, will require that it meets the conditions, proper engineering conditions.
Okay. Because it sort of meanders all the way down towards the lake. It's a drainage
Right.
and.
Yes, on that site plan, it shows if you move it a bit, there's a ditch in the back.
Yeah.
You're right, it meanders. It shows it. If you can point that out, sir?
Coming through.
Yes.
Is
So-
that on
That's on the rear of the property.
the rear of the property? Okay.
Right, it meanders a bit and it goes off property in 2 locations.
Okay. Yeah, and it straightens out. Yeah. Okay.
So that, there's no construction proposed out in that area, so they still have to
Yeah.
meet the engineering
Well,
requirements for
yeah,
it.
there's a lot of moving of land around because they are changing elevation.
Yes, yes.
So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak to the committee? Okay, we'll take this matter into committee. Who would like to move a recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move a recommendation to approve this application. I feel that the proposed increase in the overall height of the house, since it's limited only to the portion of the gable roof peaks, and that the balance of the houses remains within the appropriate 9-meter height limit. I find that this application does meet the general intent of and purpose of the official plan, as well as the zoning bylaw. And I will note the members of the audience are mostly in support, with very minimal concerns that were addressed by the applicant with respect to trees and swale in the back. I'll move a motion with our regular condition that the approval be expired within 2 years of the date of the decision if the proposed development has not proceeded and/or a building permit not issued, as well as the requested condition from staff that the proposed dwelling be constructed in general accordance with the plans dated February 2nd of 2017 as submitted.
Thank you for that. Any discussion or recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? No one opposed, your application being approved.
Thanks so much, committee.
Okay, so we'll proceed to application CAV 43, 2017. This is at 3356 Robin Hill Circle.
Evening. Name is John Whitten, acting as the agent, 58 Conrad Place, Quincy, Ontario. We're requesting a rear yard setback from 6 meters required to 4.9. I refer you to staff's comments, which I obviously would support.
Oh, perfect. Let's just see if there's anyone here that has an interest in application CAV 43, 2017 at 3356 Robin Hill Circle. See none, okay. Members, you have any questions, any items of clarification? Wish to proceed on a recommendation? Mr. Telesky, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm satisfied this application meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act. In particular, when you look at this neighborhood on an air photo, there is a series of additions, accessory buildings, and gazebos that look to have a very similar effect that this proposed addition would have. I would move the application be approved as applied for, making it subject to construction in general accordance with the drawings provided, and that permit issue within 2 years.
Thank you. Discussion on recommendation? See none, all those in support? No one opposed, your application being approved, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Good evening. Application CAV 45, 2017 at 124 Westminster Drive.
Jason Heater from Hicks Design Studio, 295 Robinson Street in Oakville.
Okay, is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in this application? CAV 45, 2017 at 124 Westminster Drive. Members, I'm in your hands. You've done your site visit. You read the staff report. You understand the application. Any items of clarification? Anything you wish to explore with the agent?
I just do, with
anything
your
you wish
permission,
to,
yeah.
update us on, yes?
Just as of this morning, we met with the neighbor, and I hate to do this, we met with the neighbor to the north at 1:30, and in consultation with her arborist and our arborist, we would like to just shift the building slightly south to allow that cedar hedgerow a bit more room during construction.
And what does that do to the plans?
So it does nothing to the plans, does nothing to the elevations. Side yard setback on the north side becomes 3 meters, and the side yard setback on the south side.
Can you just put that on the screen?
Yeah, let me get
And circle or highlight
yeah,
those areas of change?
Yeah, I've got one here for you.
Yeah, just walk us through and then you can give us the change. And if we can explode that up a bit so we can see those areas in blue. Can everyone see this? Okay. Can you zoom it in? No?
Me?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. Okay, there you go.
There you
Now
go.
move it up a bit so we can catch
Yep.
those areas in blue. All right, perfect. So you're saying the front yard goes to 3.03?
No, not, sorry, not front,
The
this
side,
side yard
sorry.
right here.
Yes.
This is, there's a large cedar hedgerow here that
Yes.
we're trying to preserve. So just in an effort to keep that safe during construction, we've shifted the building downwards. So this side yard setback becomes 1.53, the minimum allowable is 1.2. And this one increases from 2.4 to 3.03. No change to the variance that we're here for coverage.
So you wish to substitute this plan for the site plan that we have in our package?
I do, and I have 6 copies of that as well.
Okay. Members, are you satisfied with that change? Okay. Anything else, sir? Okay, anything else?
No, I think that's,
All right.
yeah, I think
We'll
that's
take
it.
this matter into committee. Thank you. Well, we're basically going to take it in as a substitute for the one that was filed. There is a revision date number 3 on it. Revised, I guess today's date, right?
Just this morning.
Revised for C of A, number 3.
He's got all these dates, so where do you want me to change it to?
So let's just see.
Right on it.
So you call this site plan?
Correct.
And with site plan dated 03/14/17?
That's correct.
Okay. Members, can I have a recommendation, please? Yes, Ms. McCall?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move a recommendation to approve the application as set before us, given that the decisions or the amendments have no ramification as to any of the permitted side yard setbacks according to the bylaws. I'll move a recommendation to approve, subject to our regular condition that approval will expire in 2 years from the date of the decision if the proposed development has not proceeded and/or a building permit not issued, and that the building proceeds according to general accordance with the new submitted drawings. And I'll leave it up to you in terms of the date. Have you figured out which date it is? Okay.
Can I just, now that I see this, there's a recommendation on staff report, just so
Yeah.
that's not,
Yeah.
Mr. Hector, the second recommendation in the staff report is to obtain a site alteration permit. And I guess it's not that it's not required, you require it, but for the purposes of this condition, it's to tie it into the protection of the tree protection measures on the north side, the cedar that we just heard. So would the, and you may have not studied it, but would the setback proposed as part of the site plan satisfy that condition, and is it required?
Mr. Chairman, planning staff would still recommend that that condition continue to apply. The tree protection measures would go above and beyond the hedge and would deal with other matters as well. So our recommendation would be to maintain that.
Okay, thank you. So in respect to your first condition, I think all those plans that are referenced are fine. We should also say, just before it says as submitted, along with the site plan dated March 14, 2017, as submitted. And then the second condition, plus your other condition on the 2 years?
So 3 conditions in all, Mr. Chairman, correct?
Correct, that's, I
Okay.
think, what you were saying.
Would you like me to read the third condition
Yes.
into record?
Yes.
Okay, that the applicant obtain a site alteration permit prior to building permit issuance for the purpose of the establishing tree protection measures along the northern interior side lot line to the satisfaction of the development engineering.
Sir, and you're familiar with those conditions, and I think you're satisfied, you're already attempted to address those.
Yes, we are, and that's what this was, we're working towards that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, discussion on recommendation? See none, all those in support with those 3 conditions? It's, your application's been approved, sir.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so application CAB 46-2017, this is at 1479 Worland Road.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. I'm Marco Milicevic, spouse of the owner, Miguel Milicevic, for 1479 Worland Road.
Good evening, sir. Okay, again, is there anyone here that has an interest in this application, CAB 46-2017 at 1479 Worland Road? Okay, members, I'm in your hands. You wish a presentation. You've done your site visit. Any questions, any items of clarification? Mr. Hardcastle?
I'm just trying to understand a little bit with respect to the grading on the site around the proposed building. I see that there's a large berm that runs around the front of the building, the side, and then around the back. You can see it with the dashed line around the side. Is that an existing condition or something that's being done to modify the grading on the site?
Yeah, correct. So that's that's an existing condition, excuse me.
That's an existing
Yes.
condition?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions, any items of clarifications? Sir, is there anything you wish to add to the application?
No, we're actually in favor with the
Okay.
committee.
We'll take this matter to committee. Who would like to move a recommendation? Mr. Hardcastle, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, having reviewed the materials and undertaken my site visit, I'm satisfied that the requested variance conforms to the four tests of, requested variances conform to the four tests of the Act, and I'll put forward a motion of approval, subject to two conditions. The first being that the proposed dwelling be constructed in general accordance with the plans dated January 31st through February the 2nd, 2017 as submitted. Second being that that a building permit be issued within 2 years of the date of the decision, or the variance would be null and void.
Right, and I guess we should reflect that there would be no written submissions or oral presentations at this meeting. Okay, thank you. Any discussion or recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support subject to those two conditions? No one opposed, your application has been approved, sir.
Thank you.
All right, application CAB 47-2017 at 177 Gloucester Avenue. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record.
Yes, thank you. It's Rick Meteljan, 79 Wilson Street, Oakville, Suite 301, and I'm here on behalf of our clients at this address.
All right, just let's see if there's anyone here this evening that has an incident application, CAB 47-2017 at 177 Gloucester Avenue. Anyone have an interest in this application? Okay, staff recommending approval, subject to a condition. Is there anything you wish to add to the application, sir?
Not at this time, no.
Members, do you have any questions, any items of clarification? You wish a presentation? You've done your site visit? Oh, Mr. Tulowski, you'd like to move a recommendation?
Certainly, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, I find this to be very appropriate and desirable renovation within the Old Oakville community. Finding that this application meets the four tests of the Planning Act, would move its approval, subject to development proceeding in general accordance with the drawings provided, and that a permit issue within 2 years.
And I guess to reflect that there's been no oral or written submissions on this one in either way?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Is there a discussion or recommendation? Okay, seeing none, all those in support of recommendation to approve subject to the two conditions? No one opposed, your application has been approved, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good
we'll
night.
deal with the application CAV 182-2016. This is a revised application that was deferred from our November 8th, 2016 hearing, the property at 99 Rain Avenue.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Jack Neal, Ruth Victor and Associates, 481 North Service Road.
Jack?
Jack Neal, Neal.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in application CAVA 182-2016 for 99 Rain Avenue? Okay. Members, I'm in your hands. You wish a presentation? Do you have any items of clarification? Done your site visit? You read the revised report, sir? Is there anything you wish to add?
Nope.
Okay. If you were going to add something, what would you say?
If I was,
Yes?
I'd say, hello, this is my first time doing this.
I know. That's why I want you to have a chance to practice.
I was going to before for the
Well,
Nagal
let's
one.
hear
and
let's
then-
hear your presentation.
Do you want to?
2 minutes.
Okay. 2 minutes, all righty.
Tell me why it meets the 4 test.
So, we're here before you to ask for a variance request for 2 of them, actually. One is for the increased garage floor area. The other one is for an increased floor area ratio. The property itself is 99 Rain. It faces 99 Rain. Faces Rain Avenue. Excuse me. The zone low density residential. In terms of the garage, the intent of the minimum garage floor area is to prevent sort of garages from becoming too big, too dominant, sort of like to the streetscape and messing up the front of the house. With regards to this garage specifically, the way we're asking for 4 extra square meters, which are going to be accommodated in the rear, which is just here. It's going to be used primarily for storage, and so it won't sort of result in any sort of adverse impacts in terms of the neighbour's property to the side, to the front, or the way that the garage looks from the street. In terms of the floor area ratio, I can put the floor plan up because it makes it a little bit easier. We're asking for an increase.
Can we zoom out the, beam us out a bit? Scotty, beam us out a bit. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that better?
That's good.
Okay.
Awesome. We're asking for a 17 square meter increase in the floor area ratio. Jesus. Which is primarily to accommodate this pantry right here, which is an element that the clients wish to have. And when you include this, you have the similar type of extra floor area on the second floor, which is going to be sort of used to add a bathroom onto the 4th bedroom. The house itself maintains, respects the character of the surrounding area. It's compatible with all the setbacks, the height, the massing, and it sort of exceeds the zoning in every other sort of area apart from this. It doesn't create any adverse impacts. And it has been altered actually to conform to zoning and official plan amendment previously. So,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any questions of Mr. Neal? Thank you. Well done, sir.
Thanks.
Any follow-up questions? See none. Again, is there anyone here having an interest in application CAVA 182-2016 for 99 Rain Avenue? There are some people that came in late. Sir, is there an application you have an interest in? Okay, just want to make sure we haven't missed anyone. All right, we'll take this matter to committee. Who would like to move a recommendation? Ms. McHale, is that your hand going on the clicker? Yes, it was.
I guess I will.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll note that there are no members in the audience in opposition to this application. It's always nice when an application that is deferred comes back with a more compatible design and fitting of the neighborhood in working with town staff. Knowing the fact that the garage floor area is mostly internal to the dwelling and that the revised design is more compatible in terms of massing and scale, I'll move a motion that the proposed dwelling be constructed and a motion to approve with the 2 conditions that approval will expire within 2 years from the date of the decision if the proposed dwelling has not proceeded and/or building permit not issued. And then the second condition that the proposed dwelling be constructed in general accordance with the plans dated February 16th of 2017 as submitted.
All right, thank you. Discussion on recommendation? Seeing none. Oh, well, there's, and I guess to reflect, there was no here in opposition or, you said that, eh? Thank you. Oh, okay. Discussion or recommendation? Seeing none. All those in support? No one opposed. Your application has been approved. Mr. Neal, just 2 points for the future.
For sure.
This was a revised application. You know,
Yes.
I would be more upbeat on the changes made to
Okay.
reflect the dialogue and also mention the four tests. that
Okay.
you comply with
As soon as I finished, I was like,
No,
there's a
that's
lot
good.
of stuff, but thank you.
Just some feedback.
For sure. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a good
you.
evening.
You as well, thanks.
Sure, yeah, we have minutes of January 17, 2017 and February 14, 2017. Let's take these separate just to make sure everyone that's here was here, in fact. January 17th, we were all here. Who would like to move the recommendation? Mr. Hardcastle? Discussion on the minutes, see none. All those in support? No one opposed. Those minutes have been approved. And then we have February 14th, Valentine Day minutes. Mr. Telesky, you were not here. So, yeah, I have my little sheet here. Mr. Telesky was not here. So, Mr. Hardcastle, are you moving those minutes as well? Absolutely. Any discussion on the February 14th Valentine minutes? Seeing none. All those in support? Those minutes have been approved. And Mr. Hardcastle, why don't you carry forward with an adjournment?
Motion to adjourn?
Okay, all those in support? We're adjourned. 8:15 or thereabouts.